It's one of those days in the market where decisions that are made here will matter a lot more than opinions. Markets like this don't reward emotions. They reward patience. They reward key levels and execution. This is Bitcoin on point, where I break down the market exactly as it is and exactly how I'm planning around it in real time. In today's video, we're going to break down whether Bitcoin reverses from its first bearish target or whether it moves towards the second, and what the daily and 4-hour structure is actually telling us right now. Also, how Ethereum is developing a trade for us in real time. And if this helps you stay calm in this market, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe. It's exactly the kind of market where structure matters more than all of the noise. Now, as always, I'm running a fully public trading challenge, growing an account from $10,000 to $100,000. All trades are executed on Week's exchange, tracked and managed transparently using the Profits Precision platform, and every update I share is live inside my free Telegram channel. The links are in the description. Now, before we go deeper into the charts, let's quickly zoom out because, again, today is another one of those days where macro context actually matters. President Trump's son just said Bitcoin is going to $1 million. $1 million. Now, whether you agree with that number or not isn't the important part, right? The important part is who is talking about Bitcoin. Who's talking about it now and who's talking about it this openly, right? We're talking about President Trump's son here. Now, at the same time, today is a big day for crypto holders. Trump's White House meeting on Bitcoin and crypto market structure is happening today. This isn't noise. This is policy discussion at the highest level. And markets usually start positioning before the clarity, right? Not after it. Lastly, we also have a rumor that's circulating globally. Xi Jinping is reportedly considering legalizing crypto in China and allocating $40 billion into Bitcoin as part of a strategic reserve. Now, treat that last part carefully. Again, it's a rumor. It's not necessarily confirmation. We know what China have been like in the past when it comes to crypto regulation, right? But even the existence of this narrative tells you something important. Bitcoin is no longer a retail experiment. It's being discussed as a strategic asset, whether that's politically, institutionally, and geopolitically. So that's why price reactions at key levels on the charts matter so much right now, Because when macro pressure actually meets the technical structure, that's where the biggest moves are born. With that in mind, let's start with Bitcoin on the weekly time frame. Let's dive into the charts because Bitcoin has officially hit our first bearish target. And now the real question is simple. Does price reverse from here and push towards a new all-time high? Or does Bitcoin go down for our second bear target first? And here's why the second target actually matters, right? Because this level sits directly on a long-term trend line, for one, and historically, every time Bitcoin has touched this trend line, it's marked the start of a new all-time high expansion. So with that being said, even if price does dip lower here, this isn't necessarily something to fear. From an opportunity perspective, it's a buying opportunity in a high probability demand zone where buyers have stepped in the past. So either way, this area defines the next cycle move. That's how important it is here. Now, let's zoom into the daily, right? Because from the 92K level, Bitcoin had multiple attempts to push higher, right? And in total, three attempts, so to speak. And all of those were rejected in the past. So even when it did close above, it failed to hold the support and trend line that was going on for some time, and it rolled over again. So it lost a key level of support after seeing multiple points of contact of rejection. And that's why I mapped out 3 clear scenarios on this chart. And each level either represented a support zone or a bullish order block. And out of all of those scenarios that we covered, Bitcoin has reacted perfectly from scenario 2. I think I said this in the video the day before, right? So we bounced at scenario 2, and right now price is holding above scenario 1, and that's around 69K. So we tapped into 63 and have now started holding around 69,000. So daily candles are showing a decision here, not momentum, right? So instead of guessing the direction for now, we're going to drop into the lower time frames and see what's going on. Now, a quick note before we do that, all of my trades are tracked on Profits Precision, and every real-time update happens live inside my Telegram. So YouTube, I state this daily, YouTube is for the main structure, right? But Telegram is where all of the trading execution happens live. So make sure you check it out. The links are in the description. Now, let's dive into those lower time frame charts. And we're going to look at Bitcoin on the 4-hour. And the structure is very clean. So price reacted strongly from the weekly bullish order block, right? And it gave us a pullback, but it failed to close above the 72K white level, right? So instead, what happened is price moved up, it took liquidity, and then it's rolled back down again. So there is clear sell side liquidity sitting near $67,000. So with that being said, that's the next logical objective, right? So the plan here is pretty simple. Price is to take that liquidity, dip back into the weekly order block, and then that's when we look for a stronger bullish continuation. So we want to come back into the order block for support, build a foundation, and then look for the expansion, right? So it's not a sign of weakness here. This is pretty much a cleanup before building for that expansion wave. So with Bitcoin wrapped up now, let's talk about Ethereum on a daily, because Ethereum fell from its 50 EMA and its 100 EMA, and it basically failed to hold them both. It then entered a period of consolidation for a few days, and price dipped towards $1,800, which is a key level of support, and where we expected a reaction, and we got that, right? So price did push higher from that support, but when it returned to the prior consolidation level, it reacted bearishly again. So what that's telling us is that the move itself, I don't think, is done yet. Ethereum is still working through a consolidation, manipulation, and then expansion structure. And a structure like that does take time to build, you know, especially when the buyers are stepping in at cheaper prices. So with that context in mind, it's where the execution actually matters for our trade. And this is in my honest opinion, the most fun part of the video, right? Because we're already inside this trade. And our first entry was executed at $2,042, and we deployed 0.5% of risk, right? Now, our second entry is awaiting and sits at roughly $1,959. And that's a clean sort of order block. So I'm not expecting the price to trade below 1.8K. That zone actually represents our deepest liquidity. And I'm expecting, if the market remains bullish, for it to hold this sort of level, right? So it's about building this foundation. And that is said on the daily and coming into the 2-hour where this trade idea actually lives. So we've got our first entry executed. If the second one comes in, even better, we'll deploy the second 0.5% of risk. And again, I'm not expecting for now ETH to drop below that $1,800 level. So everything is going pretty well, and the structure is clear. Filled entry 1, waiting for entry 2, and overall, with 1%, the total risk is controlled. So for now, my bias remains bullish unless the structure fails. Now, all updates on this trade are shared live in Telegram as they happen. Make sure you check it out. Profits Precision, as I said, is the main platform and dashboard that I look at all of my information in one place. Weeks is for the trading execution. So if this breakdown helped you understand what the market is actually doing, make sure to like the video and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. Stay patient, stay disciplined, and I'll see you in the next update.